Hello, this is Peter from Ultimate Marketing Strategies, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at how you can do Google searches in a private way so that you're not handing over all the information to Google. Now, as you probably know, if you are logged into your Google account, Google's storing all sorts of information about your searches, your search history, and you get biased search results based on previous searches you've done. And even if you go and log out, which I try to do most of my searches when I'm not logged in, Google's still tracking your IP and using cookies to determine what sort of searches you've done before. So I used to use a service called Scroogle, which was very popular, particularly with internet marketers, because it allowed you to do unbiased Google searches. No IP, no cookies were stored, and that was quite handy for getting an unbiased check of your search rankings. Now, unfortunately, Scroogle is now defunct at the beginning of 2012, but only recently I came across Start Page, which has been around for quite some time, but I only recently came across it. And it operates in a quite similar way to Scroogle, and in some ways it's a lot better because it's Scroogle was always having legal battles with Google, and quite often the service would be unavailable because Google would block them. But anyway, so what Start Page does is allow you to do Google searches, and you can read the privacy thing there. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they don't record your IP address, there's no record made of searches, and there's no cookies. All of the searches are done over SSL, so HTTPS, that means these searches are all encrypted. And they've been around for quite some time. So yeah, it works pretty much like you'd expect your Google results to come out. So if we search for dog training, you can see here it's a similar layout to Google. It'll be slightly different. You'll see here that it doesn't have. Well, if we go over here and we'll do the same Google search. Google's got all these extra things here that you may or may not want. And the other thing to keep in mind is all of these results will be just web links, whereas Google will have videos, Google Places, a whole bunch of other stuff in there. So it immediately gives you a much cleaner interface to Google, which is quite handy. And also, if you want to view a particular site, you can view it via their proxy, which gives you a completely anonymous view of that particular page, so it's not passing your search results, your IP address, or anything like that. So if you really wanted to be totally anonymous, you could do it that way. Now if we go back and we'll have a look at the settings. So if we go into settings, we can see here this is the only cookie that Start Page will set is this anonymous cookie with these details. There's none of your private information in here. It's just your search preferences. You can set your language to be whatever your preference is. Whether you want the basic search or advanced search, and then I like to do things like enable a search results in a new window, and you can select whether you want search suggestions, which is like Google Suggest, and it's just a matter of saving those. Now, one thing I will point out is the way Start Page works is it queries the Google server based on your country. So if you're in the UK or Europe, it will get the results from, I can't remember if it's UK or one of the European Google servers. And if you're in the US, it will query the Google US servers. If you're outside those regions, then it will query your local Google server. So, for example, if I do the dog training, now see here, I'm in New Zealand, so there's a lot of .co.nz results in the top 10. Whereas if I do that, this is google.com, you'll see here that it's all slightly different results. If I go through to Google New Zealand and do the same, so here we go, we've got doggydan.co.nz in third place, which is exactly what we get here, doglinks.co.nz. As you can see there, so it's the same results. Now, unfortunately, one of the things I did like about Scroogle is the fact that you could anonymously do US search-based queries to check how your keywords were doing from the US point of view. So that's the only downside I can find with Start Page. Yeah, that's not a big thing. Yeah, if you're just doing your general searches and you want to make sure that you're not handing over all the information to Google, then Start Page is great. Or if you're already based in the US, then your location isn't really an issue. All right, well, check out Start Page. I think you'll find it particularly useful. I certainly have, and will probably make it my default search engine from here. Okay, thank you. This is Peter from Ultimate Marketing Strategies.